Welcome to Stereo 3D Productions, everyone. I am happy to know that today you can still watch our stereoscopic 3D content using the old instructions I made in 2019, 5 whole years ago.
You're wrong, man! YouTube VR for PCs got discontinued!
Wait, what do you mean YouTube VR for the PC's been discontinued?
Dude, it's been like 4 years! What the hell?
No, seriously, what do you mean YouTube VR for the PC's been discontinued? You mean to tell me I'm gonna have to redo these instructions? Again? With a channel that's all about stereoscopic content, we're gonna need to give you some instructions on how to watch our videos in 3D with the best method possible. It's been 5 years since I've done this and things have since changed. I'm a bit overdue, so let's get to it. Since the very beginning, Stereo 3D Productions has been all about stereoscopic 3D content. The same goes for our sister channel, Stereo 3D Plays. For every 2D video we post publicly, when a 3D version is also available, we'll post a link to it at the top of the description. By the way, this includes the video you're watching right now. If you open these on the desktop, they'll play in anaglyph red-blue 3D, and you can fetch those old glasses, sure, but for those of you who own standalone VR headsets like Quest or Pico, or those of you who use virtual desktop, or even those who want more pointers on watching this channel in 3D, listen up. Last we checked in, YouTube VR was the method I chose to show everyone, as it is the single best, simplest viewing option for all our 3D content. The issue here is, since I made that video, YouTube VR for the PC was discontinued. And so now I'll show you how to do the same thing, but this time with your standalone headset. If you have a Quest or a Pico, you should by all means have access to YouTube VR. At the time of producing this video, however, I think the app may be having issues on Pico from reading the reviews, but hopefully those get sorted out. Here I'm grabbing the app off the Quest store, where I just need to search for YouTube, install the app, and launch it. By the way, I recorded the full-frame Quest 3 output over USB, so pardon the lesser quality than usual. Standalone captures do be hard. This should work the same on Quests 1, 2, 3, and 3S. When YouTube VR opens, you don't even need to log into a YouTube account, just go ahead and use the search and type in Stereo 3D Productions, all in one word, for this channel, or Stereo 3D Plays, again, all in one word, for the sister channel. The main channel page should come up in the results. Click on it, and once on the channel page, just open any video you want. When it starts playing, tap on the screen to bring up the description panel. For every video that has a 3D version, you'll have a 3D HSBS link up at the top in the left description panel. Tap it and voila! You'll be watching the same video, but this time in stereoscopic 3D. This even applies to the video you're watching right now. Alternatively, you can open the channel page and scroll to our playlists and find the one titled Playlist for YouTube VR app on this channel, or Playlist for VR Players on Stereo 3D Plays. In those playlists, you'll find all the unlisted 3D videos of the channel, and YouTube VR should play them in perfect, crosstalk-free 3D. Besides YouTube VR, there are a couple of simpler yet less effective viewing methods. First, there's the previously mentioned anaglyph mode on desktop. If you click the link to any of our stereoscopic 3D videos on the desktop, you'll see the classic red-blue format show up. Just put on your anaglyph glasses, sit back, and enjoy. It's a lo-fi method of watching 3D, but it's still awfully convenient and simple. For mobile, we do have a couple of methods. First, anaglyph works properly on the mobile app if you're interested in using that. Last but not least though, on mobile, I was surprised to see this still exists. The Google Cardboard option is still there. So if you happen to have one of those cheap janky cardboard viewers, you can enjoy our 3D content with that method. Just load up our public 2D video, scroll to the description and click on the 3D link, then activate this mode by clicking the cardboard button. I don't really recommend the cardboard method because cardboard is an abomination of VR, but it does work nonetheless, and it does give a good glimpse into our 3D content, again without crosstalk, just like a VR headset can do. It's just not the most comfortable thing at all, especially for long videos, and the pixel density is just really low. Finally, we need to bring up a fallback method for broken videos. See, in the past, YouTube has had a nasty tendency to break our 3D content, and 2023 was no exception. You may come across one or more videos that plays like this. Yeah, this is wrong. It's playing the raw half side by side instead of processing it as 3D. If you see this and really care to watch the content in proper 3D, and you happen to own virtual desktop, listen up. Just load the faulty video on your desktop browser. Then establish a desktop stream through virtual desktop. You can then put our faulty video in full screen mode, then activate virtual desktop's 3D viewing options. Tap anywhere below your virtual monitor to bring up the toolbar and hit the first option, half side by side. Voila, you're now watching our content in proper 3D despite YouTube having broken the format. There's something else that's really cool about virtual desktop. Let's say you want to watch one of our properly functioning 3D videos on YouTube while using virtual desktop. Well, see, the issue here is that the desktop browser is going to load the video in anaglyph red-blue mode. Surely this isn't supported, is it? Well, yeah, I just found out it is supported. You can load our 3D content using the virtual desktop anaglyph option in the toolbar, and while this isn't optimal given the color filters, it is surprisingly better than watching with actual anaglyph glasses only because there's so little crosstalk. Also, it plays back properly even if you're not in full screen, unlike side-by-side options. Stereo 3D Productions has been a channel focusing on 3D content since the beginning. In fact, the first video posted on here in late 2012 wasn't even about gaming. It was a 3D scuba diving video that I shot with my stereoscopic camcorder. Gaming only made its entrance later in 2013 when I discovered that it was a wealth of stereoscopic content. Down the line later in 2013, VR came along and further solidified our stereoscopic 3D content roots. It didn't take long, however, for YouTube to screw up the vibe. See, YouTube has a knack for pretending to commit to emerging tech, only to pull the rug on creators less than a year down the line. They've done it with 360 video, they've done it with annotations, and they sure as hell also did this with 3D videos. In 2014 and 2015, these guys didn't just break 3D support, but retroactively broke hundreds of our old videos, rendering them completely unwatchable. At the end of 2016, they made one more change that broke another sizable portion of our 3D content, and that's where I decided to start posting content with the current method on both my channels. The 2D version is the public version, while the 3D version is always an optional, unlisted copy. This way, we don't get grilled over compatibility issues, and we can better control how you can watch the 3D in a far more future-proof manner. This has paid off down the line because, as you can see today, 8 years after the last time YouTube broke publicly posted 3D content, we can still give you a method, heck, multiple methods to watch our 3D content, even in the case of most videos YouTube broke over the years. The next time you watch a VR First Impressions, a guide, or a Let's Play series, and you happen to be doing so on either Stereo 3D Productions or Stereo 3D Plays, if you find yourself wondering, hey, how is this gonna look in a headset with 3D? Well, chances are you can get a good idea of how by loading the 3D version of the video. It's always been logical to me that VR be covered in a stereoscopic format because 3D is not only an inherent property of VR, it's also an integral part of it that is absolutely necessary to the proper functioning of the tech. It's only normal that videos talking about its content also have a 3D version available. I go by that principle with almost every video I can. Case in point, there's even a 3D version of this video available. It's important to note that you'll notice our 3D video layout is a bit different from the 2D version. Since we capture the full raw VR frame, both the left eye and the right eye, at a total resolution of 2560 by 1440 or 1280 by 1440 per eye, for the 2D production we stitch both the left eye and the right eye views, extending the field of view using the bits of the left and right eye images that don't overlap, artificially reconstituting a wider field of view from the stereoscopic capture. In our 3D format, we have a special crop overlay that produces what we call a cubic illusion. I want to take a moment to thank Maddy for pushing this technique a few years back, link to his channel in the description. Now, he advised I should use this to prevent what we call window violations. See, a lot of our 3D content, especially the VR, will tend to pop out too aggressively at the horizontal edges of the video, a common problem when adapting VR captures for 3D screen viewing. What our cubic illusion overlay does here is create an artificial out-of-window frame. The edges around the video and the face cam in our overlay are designed to pop out a little, giving the impression that the video within them is not popping out at the edges. It is popping out, but the cubic illusion creates confines for it and gives the illusion that it is inside the screen. We use a less aggressive version of the same principle on the facecam footage because yes, by the way, all our live action footage is in 3D, including the facecams. You might find this crop on the gameplay a bit aggressive, but again, a challenge with adapting VR captures for 3D screens is the field of view and the fact that the frames don't completely overlap for stereoscopic 3D. What we do here is crop the image to the contents that actually do overlap and can produce a 3D illusion. This minimizes the eye strain and gives for a far more comfortable viewing experience. I hope you get to enjoy my content in all its forms. There's a place and time for each format, and now you know how to enjoy them all. If you want to watch our guides or showcases in your headset, give it a go. And if you want longer form 3D content like Let's Plays and long form playthroughs, give the sister channel Stereo 3D Plays a visit, as it's set up the exact same way. There's gonna be a link in the description. Alright, that's all I got for you tonight, folks. Time to get back to the production machine because I do want to see you all again soon. Thanks for watching all the way. Stick around, I'll be back. It won't be long.